Wetlands are one of the most diverse habitats on the planet. They are important for flora and fauna and often contain species that are found nowhere else. Wetlands function like the kidney of the system, and they're critical for protecting our environment. Wetlands help reduce the impact of flooding. They absorb pollutants and improve water quality. They are critical for climate mitigation and adaptation, and coastal wetlands help protect our shores from wave action. There are many different types of wetlands. They can include areas that are permanently covered by water, or even those that are only inundated at certain times of the year. Unfortunately, 90% of the world's wetlands have undergone degradation since the 1700s. Over the past several decades, many large areas of the Mid-Coast region have undergone rehabilitation and conservation to protect these important wetland areas. Once a farmland site that was suffering the effects of acid sulphate soils, land clearing and extensive weeds, the rehabilitation of cat-eye wetlands began in 2003. While the main goal of the rehabilitation works was improving water quality in the Menning River, the works on site have had a range of other improvements, including increasing biodiversity. The site has seen extensive planting of native species, including an area of local fruit trees designed for wildlife to enjoy. A major part of the project has also been the filling in of drainage lines and the re-wetting of the landscape, such as this beautiful wetland behind me. This helps prevent the effects of acid sulphate soils. We've also undertaken extensive weeding and pest animal control. Today, cat-eye wetlands provides an important sanctuary for local wildlife, including kangaroos, wallabies, koalas and species like the endangered giant dragonfly. Over 180 different species of birds call cat-eye wetlands home. This includes the white-bellied sea eagle, black swans, and the comb-crested jacana, which is a threatened species, and cat-eye wetlands is its southernmost nesting site in New South Wales. Today, works are continuing to maintain and protect this important 1,400 hectare site. Cat-eye wetlands is open for the public to enjoy, with several different walking trails. It has become an internationally renowned birding hotspot, with visitors from all across Australia and the world coming to see our wonderful wetland. Bulahdelah Plain Wetland is a 366 hectare site located along the Mile River. This floodplain wetland is an important natural area that provides additional protection for the internationally recognised Ramsar-listed Mile Lakes wetlands that are located downstream. Works began on the site in 2013 with a focus on water quality and threatened species protection. Fencing was placed around the outer areas of the conservation zone to prevent cattle from neighbouring properties entering the site, and weeding work and pest animal control was undertaken. Over 11,000 trees were planted on the site to help restore areas that had previously been cleared and to provide extra protection for the vegetation that was still in place. The Bulahdelah Plain Wetland is also home to the largest known described population of the endangered flora species Lindernia. Bulahdelah Plain Wetland is a great example of the need to protect high-value natural areas and prevent further degradation for the benefit of both human and planetary health. Located between the Wetland River and the ocean, the Darrawonk wetlands had been cleared for farming and extensive drainage networks installed, and this led to its suffering from the effects of acid sulphate soils. Work began on the 1,000 hectare property in the mid-1990s and focused on improving the water quality of the Wilamba River and Wallace Lake system, as well as restoring and conserving the significant coastal floodplain wetland area. Over 20 kilometres of drains were filled in to re-wet the landscape so that it more closely resembled the natural wetland features. Cattle were excluded from the site and regeneration was undertaken, including the planting of thousands of native trees. Since work began, the site has seen impressive regeneration and is now home to 4 endangered ecological communities and a number of threatened species. The site also includes the Darrawonk Nature Reserve and is a great example of the ability that natural areas have for rehabilitation. Dawson Wetlands are located on either side of the Dawson River in the Taree Township. On the northern side of the river is a 45 hectare area that had previously been cleared for farming, but from the 1990s onwards has been preserved for wildlife. Maintenance is still being undertaken on the site, including extensive weeding works, and today it is the southernmost site of the threatened species, the narrow-leafed red gum. On the southern side of the river, the wetlands cover over 20 hectares and include 2 endangered ecological communities, including swamp oak floodplain forest and coastal salt marsh. Restoration on this site included the removal of a heavy weed infestation, including lantana, Madeira vine and morning glory. Today, The area is a thriving biodiversity hotspot and home to animals such as the powerful owl, and it became a refuge during the drought for many species, including the kangaroo. Together, these 4 major wetlands contain almost 3,000 hectares of protected and conserved natural areas. In addition, MidCoast Council looks after about 4,000 hectares of reserves, which are managed and maintained each year to improve the biodiversity in our region. Protecting our wetlands involves our entire community, and work at all of these sites could not have been undertaken without some important partnerships, including government agencies, local land care and coast care groups, our Indigenous community, local landholders and community volunteers. Get out and enjoy your local wetland, national park or nature area, and find out why it's so important that we value, manage, protect and most importantly love our wetlands.